Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall be seeing what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where we're relaxing as per usual. It's been a tiring weekend doing double streams back to back. I also might sound a little bit different because I've done something which I've not done before, which is basically messed around with the audio settings on OBS. I followed a guide. I can't remember who on earth it was by, but it was like Espervox or something. Is that right? It's something like that. No, is it? Oh, Eposvox. That's it. Good evening, everyone. And Fawnhallow is 9:38 p.m. on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. So I set up some very generic ways of messing with audio. The thing I did learn, which I actually thought was quite interesting, is that the setting on the audio interface should be quite low, and you should digitally increase the gain in OBS, because the problem is if you set it too high in the audio interface, when you get too loud it could peak, and there's nothing you can do against that. But if it's low on the audio interface and you peak it up, and the compressor can at least sort of like get to it before, right? So it's somewhere along those lines, I can't remember. So yeah, I set a lot of things. I set like some filters to, I don't know, hopefully make it sound better. It probably sounds different at the moment. And I think the biggest thing is probably the fact that a lot of the noise is cut out. And probably I'm a lot louder, I like to think as well. I should also double check that you're not hearing things twice. Monitor and output, monitor and no. I don't think you are. I guess I'll quickly just check the OBS recording, but still. It doesn't sound like it's being doubled up. I definitely do sound different. Like it sounds clearer, but also like I don't know, like there's a less natural feel to it, which I think is fine. Like it's, because I mean before, like because there's reverb and everything, it sounded like I was actually in a room, because I mean I am in a room, a non-audio insulated room, but now it sounds like a lot of that's been cut out, which gives a very sort of like a podcasty sort of feel, I think, to it, which I think is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Maybe it'll take some adjustment to get used to, and maybe I'll tweak the settings later on. I mean, after I did a stream today, I listened to a recording and I was like, I think I have a high gains on too high, because it sounds like the S sounds, I need to de-essify it slightly. So I turned it down considerably, I think. So is that, I mean, I think it sounds okay at the moment. We'll have to see. It's at least different, shall we say. But yeah, what else is there? I also changed how the game audio sounds. So it's a sort of thing where like if I'm speaking, the game audio becomes more quiet, and the game audio is a bit more sort of like normalized. So quiet things are heard a bit louder, and louder things are heard a bit quieter. Not just like an extreme degree, but just enough. It is pretty quiet at the moment already, so I think probably because the Elgato itself is actually quite quiet. So maybe we can afford to increase the gain for that, because I put it down to -10. But at least according to the levels, it should be a little bit higher. Natural game audio. Because especially now, it quietens down automatically. If I'm speaking, if it gets too loud, it should be fine. Especially because now I should be generally above it in audio. And I'm looking at volume scales, and that looks to be the case. So welcome perhaps to a whole new era of audio interfacing. Which is something I should definitely learn, to be honest. Like enough years of being sort of complacent about actually all these audio and video effects, highest quality, etc, etc, etc. Like I did it for like video recording and streaming. It seems a bit strange if I didn't do it for audio recording too. Also, as a continuance from yesterday's episode, the song I was thinking of was KK Vocaloid, or KK Vocal Synth, whatever it's called. It just, the intro of it sounds very different, acoustically and non-acoustically, unsurprisingly. Oh, wait, what do you want to talk about, Vivian? But I also need to record some other videos today, for tomorrow, because I don't have any pre-recorded episodes, which is not great. If you're following on the saga of my phone, they have responded. being like, hey, you know, I don't know if I said this part. They responded to be like, hey, you know, we're going to try and organise the refund for you, just, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, hey, thanks for the update. Is it possible for me, instead of getting a refund, can I just get the phone I ordered? And I was like, because the sale ends literally on Tuesday, so if that can't happen, I need to buy the phone again. But I was also like, the vouchers I used, I don't know if I can reuse them, because I already used them once. And so, you know, they sent back, hey, thanks for getting back. Sorry for the late response. I mean, it wasn't that late. It was about a day, but fair enough. We need to check if first if a voucher can be reinstated back. Please give us more time. And I was like, okay, well now I'm responding again, being like, okay, I'm okay with giving you more time. To a certain extent, but you have to be aware if a sale ends on Tuesday. If a sale ends, I'm not going to rebuy the phone. Because I'm not spending £300 more than I should have for your mistake, essentially. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to come of this. Hopefully I just get my phone eventually, but we'll have to sort of see. But they have, I've now got like requests to be like, to return the current phone I have, which I'm totally fine with. I don't need this other phone that they've given me, a worse phone than my current phone. So we'll certainly return that, but I have no idea what's going on with this. It's like, I thought it would just be very simple. They'd be like, oh, sorry, we gave you the wrong phone. Please return that phone and we'll send out the phone you ordered. I'll be like, thank you, that's great. But I'm like, why am I getting a refund? Can you not just send me my phone? Like, is this not like a precedent which should already exist? I don't know, I'm getting confused. But anyway, the main focus of today is definitely the audio interface. I think a big thing as well is the fact that lots of people have said that I'm too quiet. And part of it was the fact that my setup was like, I was not speaking to my microphone like this at all, or anything like that. Just give you simulation, or it constantly moved around. But then even after, like, I set things up more consistently, like the microphone is now sort of like at my forehead level, pointing downwards to me, because that way I can at least see my screens, and it's still pretty close. I'm still kind of quiet. So I've basically turned the gain up to make it easier to hear me. Sorry, a little bit of a pause as we continue on. Oh, I rotated around. You know what? Why not? I feel like it makes more sense to watch a fireworks like this, if anything, but it still kind of baffles me. The place to watch the fireworks is in front of a town hall, where as a player we can't see the fireworks half the time. Anyway, yeah, so the process of audio compression and stuff is interesting, I think. It's interesting to see what goes into it. Whether or not that is... Okay, now I'm looking at it, I'm seeing that Elgato audio is peaking too much. But to be fair, that is being run through the desktop audio filter, so it doesn't actually matter that much, he thinks. It'll probably turn it down at least a bit though. Perhaps -4 is too much, maybe -6. I don't know, we'll kind of let it do its thing. And we'll figure out in future days if the audio is too bad or good or whatever have you. Anyway, yeah. So apart from that, like, what else is sort of going on? Nothing particularly crazy. We made some good progress in blueprints. We got a fun idea for the next thumbnail art, I think. I mean, the previous one, I think, was actually like a pretty good one. Like, it's definitely one of the top ones, I think. In my personal opinion. This one's a fun one, more of like the idea of it. I'm not sure if I can make it work though. If you've not been checking out the streams, this one is more like, it's kind of like a brat summer. It's kind of a vibe where D is just basically being a menace. It's kind of the way to put it. And that is kind of like, it's a difficult expression to convey on a deer head. Like I mean, it's very easy to imagine what a smirk would look like or something, or see it like illustrated. I mean, very common like anime trope, isn't it? Character, personality trait. But like, I'm not really sure how to make it look right on a deer head, especially if a deer head's rotated. I mean, deer heads already are very weird looking forward, I think, so there's confusion, there's potential there. But yeah. What else happened? We're making good progress in blueprints, I think. There's a lot of stuff going on. Still many more questions which I've yet to answer. And yeah, fun fact, I guess, you know, since July's over, it's back to working on the thumbnail arts when possible. So the next one I will be working on will be one after another Craft Treasure, which I've delayed long enough that I think I can make it work out. I'm pretty sure I know I've decided what will be the one following on from Another Craft Treasure. I don't know if I've already installed it. Another Craft Treasure is not technically finished yet, but it will be probably very soon. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be this one, which you cannot see. The alternative is this one. I'm not sure which one I'm going with at the moment. But yeah, there's lots of possibilities out there. Yeah. I'm just kind of more curious about how this audio compression will work. At the very least, I hope that the gain is higher, so it's a lot easier to hear me. And if it sounds weird, then so be it. If it sounds bad, that's kind of like a whole different story. Because I did notice after the recording of the streams that the S's sounded very sharp. And that's possibly because of too high pass boosting. Or not, I don't know. Again, I'm not an audio engineer. Audio engineering is very interesting though, so hopefully that's something which can find a better balance. I just like the fact that the noise gates, and like I didn't realise OBS could do it natively, but it can. They can put noise gates in noise filters, so hopefully it means that you won't hear me just sort of tapping on the keyboard, clicking my mouse half the time. Which, I mean, I think you can hear it like now if I'm clicking. But you probably can't hear it if I just click without making a noise. At least it doesn't look like it picks up. But yeah, what else to talk about? I'm not really sure. What's my experience with audio compression? Or audio engineering, I suppose? Not really all that much, to be honest. I think it's very much limited to like music and then just literally using remove noise gain, normalize, that sort of thing. Which is weird because I have done like some voice recording stuff, I guess, technically. For a Genshin Impact guide once. And the only thing I really did with that was basically just like reduce noise and then normalize it. Maybe now it'll be even better, maybe now it'll be worse, I don't know. There is something to be said about it sounding perhaps more artificial when it's so sort of podcast-esque, isn't it? When the sound sounds almost like too close, if anything. I'm not saying it's necessarily like a bad thing. I think it just gives a different vibe. Especially when the rest of it before sounded a bit more au naturel, right? With the room and the reverb around the room. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't really want the reverb sounds around the room. It's not like it's... I mean, I guess it's adding some sense or flavour to the recording, but not really much in a practical sense. I would say. Your mileage may vary, I think, but that's just like my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably monitor like a few days of the recordings just to see if the sound's fine. Just, as long as it's not like atrocious or anything, I think that'd be a-okay. But I don't think it is. I think it's just different, to be honest. I think there's a different sort of timbre to my voice now. When you listen to it, well, if that's better or if that's worse, I think is kind of your own mileage may vary. But at the very least, a baseline, the fact that most people should be able to hear me now because the gain should be consistently. It said consistently within like 8 to 15 range, I think it was. That is where it consistently is now, so that is hopefully the aim, and that's hopefully what will happen. But yeah, being in this range is probably significantly better than being out the range, right? Just knowing when it will consistently stay within something means there's more potential for you to like actually set your volume to the correct thing And perhaps now I'm more normalised across other YouTube videos you may watch instead of you having to turn me up a million times. I don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, what else? I don't know. Do I still have like a soreness in my mouth? I do, like in my gums, like not like all my gums. It's like literally just like at the back part of my gums now. Having like one spot under my tongue. I don't know what causes it. I don't think I'm ill then, at least, which is good. I assume it just must be some sort of infection or something. Or when I was looking up, it looked like it was like your salivary gland could be inflamed or something somehow. And I was like, how did that happen? And they're like, we don't know what causes it. And I'm like, what? But it said it passes with time. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Or if it's like a salivary stone, you need to like remove a salivary stone, which can naturally become dislodged. And I was like, okay, I don't know if it's a stone. It doesn't really feel like a stone. So I guess we just kind of had to deal with it. But I don't think it's an illness. If it is an illness, then maybe that explains more than nothing. But anyway, on that note, I think I'll round this episode off here, and I'm going to go record some 1,000 Times Resist. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So, until next time, bye-bye for now.